It wasn't so much the gameplay that mattered, it was the draw. With 90,000 spectators.
See the crowd, 19,000.
Crazy.
The lasting image of the US win would be Brandi Chastain's post-penalty kick celebration of the victory.
Hey guys, Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch top 10 most patriotic moments in sports history of USA. So we know USA is a very, a very patriotic country, and because everybody just love hosting their flags and every time, because like we have seen in many competitions also, like I have seen in NBA like USA flags and everywhere. So we will see what are the most patriotic moments that has ever happened in US history, because like in India also we see that whenever cricketers are playing, we see that whenever our national song plays Vande Mataram, everybody in the
Pure
stadium
goosebumps.
shouts that, and it is a pure goosebumps moment. So let's watch this
Video.
So let's check out the top 10 most patriotic moments in sports history. Number 10. Team USA carries the World Trade Center flag to the Olympics.
Oh wow.
Rarely does a flag presentation at the Olympic Games happen to a quiet crowd. But as 8 members of Team USA, flanked by members of the New York Police Department and New York Fire Department, marched the flag of the host country into the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, you could hear a pin drop.
You know, I think so. This is the actual flag. See, it is torn apart.
I was noticing
So
it.
it is-
It's not like that. The flag is not like that. No?
No, it is the flag that was at World Trade Center at 9/11 when the plane crashed. So this would have been the flag that would have been on the building.
Oh, so this just bring that flag.
So this symbolizes that America is still that strong, and she's saying everybody was quiet.
Like people
so,
were very quiet and serious about that.
The flag they carried was found in the rubble of Ground Zero
Oh.
and had flown atop the World Trade Center in New York when the buildings were attacked on September 11th, 2001.
so much important.
That flag was under the debris for 3 days before being found and given to the National Guard. It took some time to convince the International Olympic Committee, who is responsible for keeping politics out of the Games, to approve the display of the torn and tattered banner. But on opening night, the World Trade Center's old glory flew proudly once more. Number 9. Rulon Gardner defeats the undefeated.
Oh.
For a decade, Alexander Karelin was the world's dominant super heavyweight wrestler. By the time the 2000 Olympics rolled around, Karelin, aka the Russian Bear, aka Alexander the Great, hadn't been defeated in a match since Russia was still called the Soviet Union.
Wow.
And even then, that was his only loss, until he faced off with a dairy farmer from Wyoming.
Dairy
In
farmer.
6 years, Karelin hadn't even given up a single point to an opponent. His American opponent, Rulon Gardner, hadn't placed higher than 5th in the world up until this point, and even lost to Karelin 5-0 before. But Karelin lost his grip and a point to Gardner in the second period.
Wow.
Number 8.
A dairy
Mary Lou
farmer.
Retton wins a gymnastic first.
Gymnastic first.
A little girl from West Virginia
She's
dealt
so
a stunning
little.
blow to the Eastern Bloc
Small.
during the Cold War when Mary Lou Retton brought home Olympic gold in 1984.
Wow.
Before Retton, Team USA was never able to wrest Olympic gold from the Eastern Europe in the individual all-around gymnastics event. She came into the event trailing Romania's Ekaterina Szabo, and she even had undergone a knee operation just 5 weeks before competing.
Ooh.
In Retton's own words, she believes her performance showed that American-born and trained athletes can do anything, no matter what the odds are. 1999 Women's World Cup Final. The 1999 Women's World Cup came down to a shootout tiebreaker against the Chinese. With the score tied 0-0 in extra time, the US team would end up winning based on penalties. It wasn't so much the gameplay that mattered, it was the draw. With 90,000 spectators.
See the crowd, 19,000.
Crazy.
The lasting image of the US win would be Brandi Chastain's post-penalty kick celebration of the victory, where she fell to her knees and took off her jersey, revealing the sports bra seen around the world.
Wow.
That image became one of sports
Normally men do
Men
it.
do
iconic
this.
covers ever. Number 6. Joe Louis knocks out a Nazi.
Nazi.
In 1938, Hitler was still touting the Germans as a master race, while German athletes competed the world over for top honors. On June 22nd, Max Schmeling met American champion, the Brown bomber Joe Louis. The first time the two met in 1936, Schmeling took advantage of a moment when Louis dropped his left hand after a jab, allowing Schmeling to give Louis his first loss in the 12th round of that fight. That would not happen again. With the world listening via radio and more than 70,000 watching in Yankee Stadium,
70,000.
Willis unloaded on Schmeling, knocking him down
Wow.
3 times in just 2 minutes. Schmeling was only able to throw 2 punches in the whole 1-round match.
Oh.
Number 5. The champ lights the Olympic torch.
Oh.
Lighting the Olympic flame at the end of the torch relay is an honor reserved for a legendary Olympic athlete from the host country. Does it get more legendary than the greatest Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali.
Except in 1996, the identity of the one who would light the flame was a close-kept secret. Even swimmer Janet Evans, who was handing the torch off, didn't know to whom she was handing it.
Wow.
Ali was stricken with Parkinson's disease and had long since retired by this point. When Ali emerged to take the
See,
Olympic
he's
torch and
able
light
to
the
do this?
flame,
Like, he's
the
able to
sound in
throw
Atlanta
that?
was
No,
less a
he
roar
will
of
light the
applause
torch.
and more of the collective gasp of elated surprise
See,
as
he
the
has that
once great
Parkinson's
boxer,
disease.
shaking, lit the torch.
He was one of the best, the
Number
best
4.
boxer.
Wow.
Rick Monday saves the flag. Remember the MLB outfielder Rick Monday? He might be before most of our audience's time, but Monday was with the Los Angeles Dodgers' 1981 World Series winning team. Before that, he was the top prospect in the
Wow, what a
1965
catch.
Major League Baseball draft. Somewhere in between, he saved Old Glory from public degradation. In 1976, Monday was with the Chicago Cubs, visiting the Dodgers. With Monday in center field during the 4th inning, 2 protesters jumped the outfield fence and tried to burn a flag on live television.
Oh.
Monday, seeing what was about to transpire, ran over and
Wow.
snatched the lighter fluid-soaked flag. The protesters were arrested, and Monday was able to keep the
There are
flag.
so many players on the field, but he had the courage and he
Courage,
went
yeah.
for it. This is so patriotic moment.
Like,
that,
you cannot do this without flag.
no, you cannot burn it.
Ever since that day, Monday used the actual flag to raise money for military families.
Wow.
Number 3, the president's post 9/11 opening pitch. It might be hard to imagine the leader of the free world facing a new global war on terrorism,
Yes.
being psyched out by throwing the first pitch in Yankee Stadium. But in his own words, he absolutely was. Thousands of New Yorkers came to the stadium to watch President George W. Bush throw the pitch to open Game 3 of the 2001 World Series.
Oh.
It was also just weeks after 9/11.
USA
He didn't want
United.
Americans to think the
Yeah.
president was incapable of finding the plate. But as he practiced, Yankee Derek Jeter told him that he needed to both throw from the mound and not in front as originally planned, and not bounce it. They'll boo you, he told the president. Bush, shaken but loose, walked onto the field and threw a strike to
Wow.
an eruption of applause. Number 2, the Buckeye
Buckeye
bullet
bullet.
burns Hitler.
Oh.
Before he ever arrived in Berlin for the 1936
Oh,
Olympic
it's kind of
Games,
marathon,
Jesse
right?
Owens had already
Racing, I
set
think
3 world records and tied another. At Ohio
Ohio.
State, he won 8 individual NCAA championships, which was a record in its own right.
Wow.
When he arrived in Berlin,
Flex.
he knew
In
Nazi
Berlin?
Germany was using the games as a showcase for its racial
Oh my
policies,
God,
but he was
Hitler.
determined to compete anyway. Owens went on to win 4 gold medals in 1936.
Wow.
An unrivaled achievement until some 50 years later when Carl Lewis did the same in 1984. When Owens won gold in the long jump, the Olympic Committee told Hitler he had to greet all the winners or none at all. Hitler opted for none.
Oh, such a racist man.
Early. Nazi minister Albert Speer would later write that Hitler was, quote, highly annoyed by the series of triumphs by the marvelous colored American runner, Jesse Owens. End quote.
So racist.
Number 1, the miracle on ice.
Oh.
Would you bet money on a bunch of college amateurs taking on the world's greatest hockey
skating,
team
like,
in
on
a
ice.
competition for Olympic gold? Not many would, and not many did, as it turns out.
it's a whole game.
That was the situation Team USA faced in the 1980 Winter Olympics. It was a tough time for the United States. With hostages in Iran, an energy crisis, and runaway inflation, it looked like the American dream was coming to an end. But no words echoed through the ages like Al Michaels' "Do you believe in miracles?" as Team USA topped the Soviet Union 4-3.
See
One
the
of
craze?
biggest upsets in
That's
sports
crazy.
history.
These sport moments always live in your heart, because I think so sports is something that always brings together people, because everybody just comes together. Like I remember in 2011 India won the World Cup, and like in the final moments, like that the national song was playing and players were just standing there, and the whole crowd started singing on its own.
Yeah.
And because of that, we were watching it on TV, and we could feel it. It was just a goosebumps moment.
It just wet your eyes, like so much love for the country. And for the US, if I talk about, apart from the sports, with US I feel kind of connection. Like it's like our second home. We belong to that because we have been watching a lot of videos on the US thing, in sports, military. So nowadays I'm feeling like connection towards it.
Actually,
what do you think?
yes, and the thing is, like, even the patriotic movements, their movements and our movements are very much similar.
Yeah.
Because we are going through that phase. We are also winning our first Olympic medal in this thing,
Yeah.
and we are doing this and that. So when that happens, our also country stops and just celebrates it very much. So
And this shows that comeback is always stronger than setback.
actually, so what do you guys think? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.